At the end of Euro 2024, Gareth Southgate vacated his post as England's manager after 102 games and nearly 8 years. In that time, he led England to their first World Cup semi-final since 1990, and at Euro 2020, their first major tournament final since the 1966 World Cup. He then went on to repeat the feat at Euro 2024, making it successive Euros finals. This made Southgate the only man in history, alongside the legendary Sir Alf Ramsey, to take England to the semis or further of at least 2 major tournaments. Sadly, Southgate couldn't quite get over the line and bring football home during his reign. There are some more very impressive stats though. Under Southgate, England were the only European side to reach at least the quarter-final of the last 4 major tournaments: Russia 2018, Euro 2020, the Qatar World Cup in 2022, and most recently Euro 2024. He has also become just the 3rd men's manager to reach 100 games in charge, and the first since Sir Alf Ramsey in 1972. Southgate is also joint 6th on the list of European managers to have taken charge of the most major tournament games, with 26. Surely all of this, combined with the previous failings of England managers and the fabled golden generation, makes Southgate a national hero. Not quite. A lot of fans feel that England's recent accomplishments have come in spite of Southgate rather than because of him, and that he was actually holding back a squad with immense quality. Why? Because of his safety-first, pragmatic style of play. I personally think that viewpoint is harsh, but today's video isn't for me to defend him or his record. I did find his approach to the job fascinating though. Rightly or wrongly, he refused to waver to outside pressure and knew exactly what he wanted from his players. So how would a pragmatic approach to Football Manager look? Something that Gareth Southgate was ridiculed for at Euro 2020, to the point where it's essentially become a meme, was his perceived fascination with right-backs. Although Trent Alexander-Arnold eventually missed out on the tournament due to injury, he was selected alongside Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier and Reece James, 4 players for 1 position. However, Gareth wasn't looking at them based on their main position, and gave this explanation for his decision. What I would say is, you're looking at 4 right backs, and I know people feel I have an obsession with right backs. I just see 4 good footballers. Trippier can play right back or left back. Trent can play right back, wing back, I think he can play midfield. In the last few days I've seen Reece James play right of a back 3, at wing back and in the middle of midfield. Despite them all playing primarily at right back, Southgate was aware that they were all amongst his most talented players, and offered different skill sets and versatility that meant they could all be the best solution for different situations, but could also play together in different combinations. Squad management is crucial in Football Manager, and having versatile players who offer different skill sets can be key. Versatile players reduce the need for large squads, which in turn can help with tactical familiarity and team dynamics, not to mention the financial aspect of keeping the wage budget in check. Players don't have to have a lot of stated possessions to be versatile. If they have strong attributes for a position but aren't listed as playing there, they can still perform to a good level. There are a lot of common examples of this kind of versatility in football. Very few strikers now solely play through the middle, with most also able to play on one or both wings. Defensive midfielders also have a skill set that allows them to drop back into the defence as either a fullback or centre-back. My favourite though is a tricky winger who also works hard and has enough defensive nous to fill in as an attacking wing-back in a back 5. Aston Villa's Jacob Ramsey is a player I could see myself enjoying a lot in that role. There's no question he's an exceptional young attacking talent. He's quick, agile and technically fantastic. But he also backs that up with really solid mental attributes and enough defensive ability to hold his own, plus a desire to work hard for the team. Having a few players with this almost hidden extra level of versatility can be a crucial tool to help with building and running an efficient squad. For each matchday squad that I select, I tend to have 2 main considerations when selecting my substitutes. The first is to consider combinations of players I can select that will offer cover to the widest range of positions in case of in-match injuries. The second, and to my mind more important, consideration is who are going to be the key substitutes, the ones I'll call upon time and time again to change a game. Sometimes a simple personnel change for some fresh legs can be enough for a positive impact. However, for the most part, your starting 11 will be your best players and suit your system the most. Therefore, it's best to have key substitutes that either allow you to tweak your plan A or offer you a distinct plan B. Sometimes this will come in the form of a completely different profile of player. For example, bringing an advanced forward on for a deep lying forward. Having a striker drop deep and make the opposition defence question how they're going to mark him can be an excellent strategy. But as we saw in the Euros through Ollie Watkins, sometimes you just need somebody to come on and run the channels to challenge the defence in a different way. On other occasions though, just one or two key attributes can be enough. A player like Daizan Maeda may not have the all-round game to be a regular starter at the highest levels of the game, but to have as an option from the bench, he could be an asset to anybody. Chasing a goal? Who better to bring on against a tiring defence than a man with 19 for both pace and acceleration? There's not a defender in the world that would relish facing that late in a game. Holding on to a lead? Maeda is the ultimate outball, not only because of his speed, but his work rate, determination, stamina and teamwork all make him somebody who can be crucial to holding on to a narrow lead by pressing from the front. Okay, so being tactically flexible isn't exclusive to a pragmatic approach, but being able to adapt to the resources available is definitely an important factor. There's a common misconception that pragmatic football is safe, boring, defensive football, but I don't see it that way. Pragmatism is the art of setting up in a way that allows players to flourish, which often results in a whole which is greater than the sum of its parts. There is no overarching philosophy to follow, rather an approach of adjusting to neutralise the opposition's major threats, while also offering a threat of your own. Think Jose Mourinho taking on Pep Guardiola. Where my friend and Moneyball extraordinaire Musterman FM has spent this year exploring dogmatic football at PAOK and Zaragoza, I've been trying to improve my tactical understanding by using a pragmatic approach, tweaking roles and instructions to maximise the impact of bit part players when they come into the side, rather than attempting to create a one-size-fits-all tactic for every situation. Southgate's tactics may not have been popular with the majority of England's fans, but it's undeniable that he showed flexibility in his approach during his spell in charge. In 2018, he decided that he wanted to play a back three at the World Cup, despite having used a 4-2-3-1 system throughout qualifying. In an interview with The Coach's Voice, Steve Holland, Southgate's assistant manager, said, "On top of that, we evolved our way of playing from qualification for the finals. We didn't like the 4-2-3-1 formation we had used in qualifying. The team was solid and we always had a threat, but the football was stodgy, and neither of us had ever really wanted to play that kind of football, either as players or coaches. We decided that playing with the back three would give us a better chance not only of keeping clean sheets, but also playing a more effective game with the players we had. We were trying to find ways of getting our most talented players on the pitch, in a way that gave them their best chance of showing their obvious qualities, while also keeping us stable without the ball." Despite dominating their group with 26 points from 30, no defeats and just 3 conceded goals, Southgate recognised that a change was needed in order to compete at the tournament proper, and so adapted his system, not his style, to maximise the talent he had available to him. With an almost unlimited wealth of talent available in Football Manager to go out and sign, it's always tempting to overhaul a squad year on year. The game gives that feeling of the grass always being greener, but on steroids. With new wonder kids emerging with every passing youth intake, it gets easier and easier to increase the talent your side could have in the future. But in doing so, you're reducing the average age, experience and often current ability, meaning that short-term success can be sacrificed for potential future glory. Strong team dynamics are crucial to a successful side in Football Manager, and the best way to achieve this is to keep a consistent core of players over a number of years. Not only will you have players who you trust to perform when it matters the most, but links will develop over time, meaning that the understanding between players in close proximity to each other will be higher than normal. Throughout Gareth Southgate's spell as England manager, he relied heavily on a core of players that were almost guaranteed starters when available. 5 of the starting 11 from England's opening game of the 2018 World Cup against Tunisia were also in the Euro 2024 squad, and that would have almost certainly been 6 if Harry Maguire had been fit to feature. In 2020, the likes of Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka were called up and would go on to join that core of relied upon starters. A pragmatic approach to Football Manager will definitely not be everybody's cup of tea, but for those who like to explore the intricacies of the game and search for those crucial marginal gains, there are definitely aspects of the game that welcome this kind of approach. Considering a player based on the kind of profile they offer, rather than just their listed role, being open to making small tactical adjustments or even overarching system changes to utilise the players available to you, and building a core of strong, experienced, trusted players are all crucial aspects to a successful pragmatic approach. If you have any thoughts about approaching Football Manager in a pragmatic way, please let me know down in the comments below, and if you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Until next time.